you're wondering what's going on in this week's Marvel comic books, we will spotlight some of the things that suck, but also whatever cooks. But if you give us too much shit, we'll just get pissed off and quit. So don't do it. It's time for Marvel Comics Spotlight Show, telling you everything that we know. It's time for Marvel Comics Spotlight Show. Let's go. Let's go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Weird Science Marvel Comics Podcast. I'm here, as always, with Matt. What up, Matt?
What up, Jim?
What up is the big crossover, the all-new, all-spectacular Spider-Man, Superman #1. We already had the Superman, Spider-Man one over at DC. This is the Marvel version. I still think that the Superman, Spider-Man ones were better than the Batman, Deadpool.
Yes.
Batman, Deadpool was just lame. And the problem, though, is when you do these, and I know one of the first big crossover deals was Superman, Spider-Man.
It was 50 years ago.
They just don't go well together in my mind. It's just Superman is so much different
the
than
power
Spider-Man.
sets.
Yeah, and it's just like a different sort of thing. So in this, some of the writers, like Brad Meltzer, will try to convince us that they're not so different because they do have similarities. It's weird. Weird.
To level them out, you have to blast kryptonite on Superman to get his power down.
It's with almost anybody. You're going to have to depower Superman to be able to focus on Spider-Man, because if Superman flew in, to New York City, oh no, the Green Goblin, he's done. It would take Superman 2 seconds. Grab him and throw him into the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right,
or just
sun.
grab him and just whatever. So you do end up having to play that game. Also in this, I guess it's okay. It's just a given that everybody knows each other. It's just that they're everybody's fast friends, know who they are. It threw me off a bit with the first story, the Brad Meltzer story with Spider-Man and Superman, because I'm kind of used to you go through a portal, things go.
No, they didn't do that in the other one either. I don't think they kind of just started
they just
right
go
in
with it. And I kind of like that.
You save page space by doing that.
Yeah, because again, you're here to tell stories, have some fun and whatnot. It's always that lame, same thing when you have to, I just came through here, then you got to explain things. No, they just go for it. But we'll go through this. It's okay. I'm not going to say it's the greatest thing, but at the end, I don't know. If you enjoy this sort of thing, I think people could have some fun with it.
I like
it's
it
worth
because you can get Wolverine, Thor, Hulk in the future if they keep doing this kind of stuff. You can get a bunch of cool characters.
It is the funny thing of, I guess the next one you'd have Wonder Woman. Somebody else. Sure. I guess it would be Storm, Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
I've actually talked
Storm,
about it. I don't know who else you would have. Venom, Mary Jane?
No, it would be Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel. Kamala
you
Khan.
could have Miss Marvel, but again, I guess there would be stories in it. But what's good with Wonder Woman, if you did have it, you have the Wonder Girls, you have a bunch of other characters. Like you could have Yara Flor and Kamala Khan in a story where they bitch and moan that nobody likes them. Right? They're like, we're new and nobody accepts us. Even though I think people kind of like Yara Flor. They don't like Kamala though. But we'll get into this. And the first story is by Brad Meltzer and Pepe Larraz. That's the main story.
Mm-hmm.
I said to a lot of people that this story is actually oversized. Like the whole thing is oversized, obviously, because you have so many stories. This is even 26, 27 pages long. And I don't know, it threw me off. I thought it was done 3 times. And when I got done with it, I was tired. And I kind of like when they have the first story, the main story being just a regular size comic story, 20 pages, and then have the others 6, 8. So in this, there's some stories that have 4 pages. There's some that have 9. There's some, and again, it kind of goes by, speaking of power levels, you're going to give Jeff Johns more page space than Stephanie Phillips. You know what I mean? You're going to do that. But again, I don't know why. And I think I'm probably the only one that this story, even with that, I think it went on a little too long. You end up having almost like an epilogue with the parents. I'm like,
you didn't need any of that.
And we'll talk about that where you're like, it don't make no sense. But you have Superman and Spider-Man trapped. We find out that it's Green Goblin and Lex Luthor. And again, it's classic, right? And they have kind of kryptonite bombed this cave that depowers Superman, obviously, but then forces Spider-Man to kind of keep the cave from falling in, which then allows Superman to kind of glaze Spider-Man and say, listen, I kind of scanned you in a sexy way, and you shouldn't be able to do this, even though we've seen Peter do stuff like this, right?
He's super strong, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, his bone density might be off, but who cares?
Weird. Yeah, it's like your bone density. Again, that would be the thing of, Spider-Man saying, hey, proportionate to a spider, things like that. It's kind of like Ant-Man. I almost said an ant as well. It's like that kind of thing. Like, he's super strong. And he's telling jokes, and that's going to be a big thing, too. Superman's dad jokes versus Spider-Man's quips. And then eventually Superman will get a joke that gets a laugh. But while this is going on, you have Superman irradiated by kryptonite. He's dying. He's losing his powers. He's stuttering like nobody's business. Some people said that annoyed him. It didn't annoy me the first time I read it. After I saw a bunch of people say it, then it annoyed me the second time. I'm like, thanks a lot, everybody. But while that's going on, you have this kryptonite levels being announced. Transmitting kryptonite levels, 78% to gold. You're like, okay, what's this goal? But in the meantime, like I said, Superman X-ray scans.
Where's his gold power? Come on.
Yeah, really. That would be great. Dan Slott's like, damn you guys.
So that would solve everything.
That'd be great if this was Dan Slott comes in and saves the day. But that only lasts a little bit. So, but we don't know the recharge either. That's the problem with that one. But he does scan and sees a watch.
Yeah.
He says, hey, what's going on with that watch? And then
he scanned a couple more inches below that too.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely. He's watching something else. and the alarms went off. He's like, woo wee. But it's like, oh, there's a watch. Why do you have a wristwatch in your belt? And are you happy to see me?
Yeah.
That's what he says. And Peter gets mad. Well, what are you, X-ray me?
He's grabbing his crotch.
Oh, yeah, he definitely is. He's like, what the hell? And he's like, oh, and you end up where Superman says, no, I need to make sure you're not hiding kryptonite. And you tell him about
like Batman.
There's a bit back and forth with what's kryptonite. So we still have that, but it's obviously killing him. But the watch becomes a thing. And if people didn't guess, even if they didn't know of it, that it's Uncle Ben's watch. So he's thinking, hey, let's get going. Boom. You end up kryptonite. So there's something that's leading to this goal. So as it goes, Peter's struggling more and more. At one point, even Superman has to get involved, but then it goes, boom, it gets to the percentage, and even before that, they kind of bust into a kryptonite explosion where each of them see the other's timeline. It's very odd. It just kind of happens, right?
Yeah, and it's out of nowhere.
So, yeah, and that's where they're like, he's Clark Kent, he's Peter Parker, and I see everything. I think, what do you think that Peter's background is a little more tragic, right? Like all the deaths.
Well, Krypton blew up.
It blew up, but he was a baby.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be like, man, I think you actually did kill Gwen Stacy. But he blows up, and big percentage goal, when it gets to it, it's that they want him to be so depowered that then they can leak the Venom symbiote that will then take over Superman to make him attack Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a weird just play. You see a bunch of other characters, too.
It's weird because I see Doomsday Day back there.
That's what I'm saying. You see
he's the most powerful person on that page. I mean, come on.
Look at Taskmaster just standing there.
Yeah, Taskmaster.
Right? So you end up where he then goes and, oh my God, this is so great. I'm now bonded with this Superman. I'm unstoppable and you're in big trouble. It's a great spread page. I like the Pepe Larraz art. But yeah, with that though, you kind of can guess what's going to happen. Superman eventually just kind of breaks out of it in a way. It's like his hang loose attitude.
He's clapping his hands or
he
something.
He does the whole clap to get rid of it. He does all this as you see Luthor. I needed Luthor to be yelling at Goblin like, I thought you said this would work. Because, Superman just gets out of it because he's Superman. He's too powerful and he can go against it and he claps it out. And then you have where they go after Luthor, who's on a glider as well. And Goblin, and says, all right, fight back, please. I thought that was the end. I thought it was like that funny deal at the end where they're just about to punch him, and you're like, boom. And legit, if you look at the page count, it's about the size of a regular issue.
Yeah, that's really the end of it. Yeah.
So I'm telling you, in my mind, I think it clicked that it's over. That's okay.
Because the next thing really could be a separate story.
Yeah, and we have like 7 more pages.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh.
I guess for like Brad Meltzer, it's hard to get this guy. Let's give him what he wants.
Yeah. Again, some people probably like it. But it ends up where Clark then wants to find Peter. And he does find him. He's at Ben's grave.
Yeah.
And he's like, I thought I could find you here. Hey.
When I was in your brain, I realized you were visiting this gravestone today.
And then he says, I want to give you a signal watch. And he's like, that's not a funny joke, but it's clever. You're getting better. And he's like, I actually came because when we were trapped, what you said, because he did ask Peter, why do you do this? You're like, you're not powered up like me. Like, I'm the cat's meow. Look at you. And he said, I do it because of guilt. And you kind of got that deal guilty because of Ben, because he let Ben, die. And Clark says, that's not why you do it. You don't do it because of guilt. You do it because you want people you want to save people. You don't want people to, have the shit that you went through. And he says, you had good parents. They taught you well, or at least, good people because they're both orphans. It has that whole thing of we kind of deal with each other that way. And that whole thing with the watch, Clark then says, I know what it's like because Peter even says, you have glasses in your cape.
Yeah, I call BS on that.
Yeah, I'm like,
those things can be broken in 2 seconds.
Also, he says, this is the best. No different than those glasses in your cape. You saw those? Newspaper folks are nosy, Mr. Kent. In that little compartment, you got 2 sets of glasses. Clark Kent wears one. The others look like reading glasses from your pa.
Yeah.
Now, as that is said, because you don't go by continuity in these a lot, I'm thinking pa's dead. I think, the same thing is, but he's not. What the fuck? Every time he goes to read a book, he's probably like, Martha, where's my damn glasses? And they're always gone. He's like getting so pissed.
I got to carry on your $1 reading glasses with
me?
Yeah,
exactly. And also, I just think Pa Kent, Jonathan's like, he's done reading. He's given up.
He's getting into a lot of car accidents lately. Yeah,
he's like, I can't see shit.
He ran over a family dog with his tractor or something.
Right. He's like, I needed my reading glasses. And he's going around with them. Like, again, the broken pocket watch or whatever there, Ben ain't using that.
Nope.
You're not allowed to take it to heaven with you.
It's not like he's carrying on Aunt May's crap. He's carrying on his dead uncle's stuff.
I'm like, the idea of that, I'm like, what are you doing? You stole your dad's glasses. And he's like, hey, I like having them with me. You should be an investigative reporter. Oh, I'll get you a signal watch. Then I think we're done again. Now we're done. That's good. Oh, now they have to, hey, why don't you have Aunt May join me for dinner at my parents' house and we'll have a grand old time. And it seems like that would be in Smallville.
Yeah.
The way that they set it up, it looks like they drove. There is a car that's like, you can't really tell, but the idea is, they drove from New York City to Smallville?
Yes.
For a dinner?
Yep.
What are they doing? Like, what did Clark go and like, hey, Aunt May, they chloroformed her and then he picked up the car and flew?
Aunt May can't sit in a car for that long.
Didn't know. Aunt May can't do anything for that long.
She's too old.
If she acted her age, she'd die. So you end up where they go and they're going to have a dinner. And next thing you know, it's like, I don't know if, Ma will get along with Aunt May. I'm like, I kind of think they'll get along. Well, they get along so well, they're arm wrestling. Aunt May's the only one who will ever arm wrestle and still break a hip. Like, look at her. Like, I don't know what they're doing. And everybody's cheering. Jonathan's like, I can't see shit.
I would have loved to see Pa Kent and Aunt May hooking up in the bathroom or something.
That would be great.
Just going at it.
My God. It'd be like making out with a mummy.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
old people get horny, so.
Afterwards, he breathes out and like dust comes out. He's so damn old. But yeah, and then they're just like, hey, should we get home since the ride's 2 days? But that's
he couldn't have flown them there because then that would have given away all the.
It's so weird that
because Aunt May doesn't know anything. So
well, that's the thing. She's like, I think we were driving for 2 days. Oh, Aunt May, you're losing it again. Pa Kent's walking into walls.
I think he chloroformed her.
Yeah, they had to have, and then just Superman picked it up and flew. But they're there. It'd be funny if he had britches out there on the line, the clothesline. Anybody use a clothesline anymore? We had a clothesline in the backyard. It never was used, but that's the end of that story. It's
also,
okay.
There's a windmill there. You got to take that down these days.
Yeah, you got that. You got the
not allowed to have that.
Yeah. Yeah, probably some butter churning going on. Yeah, really, it's giving them cancer. They all have cancer in the house. So you have all that going down. It's okay. It just became too much by the end for me, but I still didn't mind. I liked the stuff when Superman was talking with Peter when they were in the cave and he was saving them.
It's just older.
It's just kind of the same
guy
deal.
giving advice, and it's like, I don't know, how much older is Clark supposed to be that he's able to, like, why is he,
I would
he's
say
giving
he's
advice all the time?
It is weird. Like, you could think at points that he's like 15 years older, but really it would probably be like 7.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It's okay, though. It's Superman. He's Superman. But you can't have him be fully powered up, or else all that's done. Like, nothing goes on if he's, but then we'll go on to the others. There's a bunch of stories. There's so many in here because next, and some of them, that's the thing too, because this next one, does it have, it has weird credits, but they have a credits page and then you start going. So this is Dan Slott and Marcos Martin, I believe. The art's great. It is a Spider-Man noir story. And if I would have guessed what Dan Slott was going to do, it wouldn't have been a Spider-Man noir story. I actually thought he'd have Spider-Boy. Thought a little Spider-Boy going on. Maybe he meets up with something going. I don't know. But
young John Kent would have been fine.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
Because I was thinking about that today. They're very similar how he's going to write them, I think.
Yeah. So that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it's Spider-Man noir. And it's this whole thing of Lex Luthor has kind of set up this deal that it looks like J. Jonah is going to get the electric chair. And they have to go and get Lex to tell the governor,
Lex Luthor.
Oh, yeah, the Kingpin Lex Luthor, and tell him that, hey, it was Lex that did all this. It's very ambiguous at points, the story, but it's pretty cool. The art's great. I love the art in this. I think this is my favorite art in all of it, like the Fleischer cartoons.
It was the period piece.
Yeah, it looks great. And usually they have like the Ben-Day dots kind of thing. Mm-hmm. They don't do that, but if you do look at points, there is like, I'm telling you, the one page where Lex is being held up by Superman as he jumps out of the building, it looks like some kid put like his milk down. There's like a ring from a cup that I think they're using some wear and things in. I think that's really cool. Even you can see it again when they're in that diner. But it's okay. I mean, you have Spider-Man Noir kind of attacks Superman, not knowing who he is. You have Superman yelling, "Great Scott," and hey, you're a slippery fella. Slippery. And then webs him up and he breaks out like it's the chains that we'd always see. He also breaks through like the panel at one point. I thought it was really neat. And again, he's saving Lex so that he can then, Superman's saving Lex so then he can go and have him squeal like a canary to the governor. And J. Jonah, I think they just arrested J. Jonah with that haircut and that mustache. I mean, right there, it's like, dude, Jesus Christ.
If he's not a you-know-what sympathizer, I don't know. I mean,
holy moly. Like the haircut. It's like Macklemore times 10.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's a Charlie Chaplin fan. Like that mustache, it's really bad. Also, he has his Dick Tracy coat on, which made me giggle.
He looks like straight out of Dick Tracy.
Yeah. So look at the picture, too, where he's on the cover of the Daily Planet. Like, you just don't look good. Please.
And then there's a cool throwback, the art where Superman's holding Lex.
Yeah.
That's like an homage to like one of the Spider-Man covers.
Yep. Yeah. It's pretty cool. And then even at the end, when you have Clark Kent talking and then Peter has the half, Spider-Man kind of, that's always cool. The Spider-Man noir deal. So they end up where J. Jonah ends up. He's saved. He's pissed because the Daily Planet got the story. Obviously, it's Clark Kent who got the story. He says that he'll hire Clark Kent for like half the money. And Clark's like, yeah, I don't think so. Peter says stuff and he's like, yeah, just you're not even getting a 5-cent breakfast. But Clark likes it. He's eating this breakfast, right? I don't know what the hell he has at the end there.
Maybe?
Yeah, look at that thing.
Blackjack?
It's very small. Like, I want that to be the full pancake. That's why it's 5 cents. I hate pancakes.
Pretty big, so
I can't stand pancakes. They're the worst. They get all soggy.
I'm a waffle guy.
Yeah, I like waffles a little more. But yeah.
Waffles. When you go to a diner, they give you one waffle, and it makes no freaking sense.
Yeah. I have this mini.
What am I supposed to do with one waffle?
I guess eat it, but you have to order another one. I have a waffle maker, but it's a mini one that I make these breakfast sandwiches with. It's pretty cool. I got it at Aldi. It's the only thing. I don't know what else I'd use it for. I ended up getting it because I thought it was neat. These things are like that fucking pancake there. They're so small, but it works for a breakfast sandwich.
Well, when you go to a diner, right, like say you order a stack of pancakes, right, you get too much. But for some reason, waffles, they skimp on those. Because they're harder to make, I guess.
It's that extra oil you put in. we used to, when I worked at this seafood restaurant across the street, there was a place, Plain and Fancy, this diner, and you'd go in, and if you could order the big stack.
Yeah.
It's like 6 freaking things. And it was just funny to order it. I never finished it. And I think that's where I got my hate for pancakes, because every Friday night, Friday and Saturday, we would go there after, like, we'd get off at 2 a.m. and we'd go there to eat. Everybody would, and everybody would get pancakes. I'm like, I don't want pancakes. I kept ordering them.
Douse it with syrup.
I quit that job to get away from the pancakes. I had enough. It was, syrup, and then you're talking, they're all soggy.
And then you start to smell like you get it on your hands, and it stinks like the syrup. It's disgusting.
And then you put them down your pants and act like a jerk. But yeah, the story I like the story.
Yeah, you like it.
But it's so quick, right?
Yeah.
But,
I could have gone for a couple more pages.
Yeah, so then we go, Joe Kelly and Humberto Ramos, going to have what I would like to call the tale of two bitches. You end up having Lana and, what's her name?
Gwen.
And Gwen.
She looks exactly like Mary Jane.
Well, that's the problem. I almost said Lana and Mary Jane, but it's Lana and Gwen, where they kind of run into each other. And you don't have enough pages, but you end up where it's like, no, Joe Kelly thinks he's doing like Mean Girls and some like almost like Clueless type, but there's not enough room for it. So it's just nonsense. But like, I think I like you. Hey, I have my friend Peter. And it's just, they're like randomly just talking to each other.
And there's some stacked dialogue boxes. And it's like, are they supposed to go together? Are they separate thoughts? Are they back and forth conversation? I couldn't figure out what's going on.
At one point, it almost feels like they're talking over each other.
Yeah, they're not listening to the other person answer.
Because they're bitches.
Yeah.
People are going to get mad. But again, when you look at it, you just keep thinking of Mary Jane. And then you have a guy, and it's just the idea, there's this redhead that he hangs with. He hangs up with I'm like, nothing is, it's just kind of annoying the whole time. It's like, I'm not like, oh man, they're so cool. Or, oh man, I'm like, I wouldn't want to hang out with them.
And they don't know they're Superman and Spider-Man, right?
No. And they don't even know each other. They just went to hey, Empire State University. Who are you? Hey, I'm Lana Lang from the Smallvilles, and I have this buddy Clark Kent. Oh, I have a friend Peter. I'm like, okay.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for you. I'm sitting there, I don't have any friends.
Yeah.
And then they show up. And you do have Humberto Ramos does get to draw a giant, just being destroyed by Sandman roller coaster. And then Peter's fighting on a pirate ship. And then they come in and Peter's wet and Clark has sand all over him.
It's not Humberto's best work either. I don't know. It's just kind of sloppy looking.
I love the idea that, like, can you believe? Then they're always late. And, what's going to go? And both of them say, I'm going to marry that guy. I'm like, no, not. Gwen especially.
No, you're dead.
Yeah, you're dead. And Lana, you marry Steele. So then they're like, oh, there they are. And then Clark's like, man, do you believe that they put sand in the streets? Peter goes, had a run-in with a rabbit fire hydrant. And then they start laughing. I'm like, what the fuck are they laughing at? You know what I mean? It's
our idiot boyfriends.
If they think it's real, like I would be like, what do you mean sand in the street? I actually wanted Gwen to say, because again, it's more of Lana and Clark visiting the big city. And he's like, man, big city, they put the sand. She's like, that don't make no damn sense. And then both of them look pissed off.
It goes back to my point earlier, though, that they're basically the same age. So,
So what I'm going to say now is that any of these crossovers, every time we have two of the ladies that are talking with each other, is bullshit. It's just nonsense. I think the last one was Tom King.
Yep.
Was that one where they're like, oh, my God, we got to help our guys. But then we go to Jeff Johns and Gary Frank.
Superstar creative team. Yeah.
Looks great. And I do like this as well. It's more, and again, I saw some people not liking it. And I don't know, because some of these, like, say the Spider-Man Noir story, it's more about Superman. Like, Superman's doing most of the stuff, right? Spider-Man Noir's there and he's shooting whatever. But in this one, it's not quite, Superman's a big deal, but it leans heavy on the Thing. And I thought, okay, that's cool.
Spider-Man's basically not in this.
Yeah. So when you do it, I didn't mind it. And I saw some people like, I thought this was Spider-Man, Superman.
It doesn't need to be. It's any
every
DC
story,
Marvel
if
character.
you're going to do it every story, it's just going to be like, geez, it's getting monotonous. But I think this is cool because, again, number one, Thing fights with Hulk a lot. Hulk is one of those characters, when he goes berserk, he's more of a villain than a hero. And what Superman comes in, it's very much like what we had him do in KO.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want anybody to lose. Hey, we all have to get along. We're going to do that. So when he ends up coming in here, and it looks good, he kind of says to Ben, because he goes to the Hulk and grabs him. And again, it's one of the few characters that could probably do this, because if the Hulk goes ham, he's not going to hurt Superman. He might throw him places and, try to hurt him. But Superman goes, and instead of fighting him, it kind of reminds you a bit of Black Widow in the movie with singing and, stuff like that. But he looks him in the eye and just says, hey, I'm here for you. And he calms down. He comes Bruce. And then what you do then is immediately put him in a fucking cell. I ended up where I'm like, oh, man, he calmed him down. Bruce is in a cell.
Yeah.
It looks like in the Baxter building. I'm like, man, I guess I'm waiting for them to shoot him off the planet Hulk.
That would be great if Superman just threw him into Planet Hulk.
I'm telling you, the Illuminati are gathering right now. Thanks a lot, Superman. We're shooting this asshole into space. It made me giggle when they show him in a cell. You have a little, and in this too, you do have more of the cameos, which I thought were kind of cool. You get to have Stargirl in, and again, Jeff Johns, he's doing his Ghost Machine in his mind. He's not doing DC. He does this. I'm glad that he got to throw Stargirl in for his sister. And you end up having Cap, and it looks cool. And then Cap says, hey, I was with, your uncle, whatever the deal is. I was with him in World War II. Pretty cool. So, yeah. And she's like, Captain, I just want to say it's an honor. Stepdad, I should have said. My stepdad met you back. And he's like, oh, yeah, I remember. Of course he does. But, yeah, so that's a cool deal. Their costumes go well. You have Hal hanging out with She-Hulk. I think he just wants to get it on. But yeah, and he says, she goes, I'm not dating right now, but thanks for the resume. As he's like going on and on. So that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is there's Mysterio and but like all this going on. Pretty cool. And when you see Superman with that red glow, it's like, it looks pretty awesome.
It makes me think of how cool, if, like, say Greg Pak had written a World War Hulk versus Superman War World.
That'd be cool.
Gladiator again, style.
This is the story that shows you, like, man, I wish this was all a big crossover. Not just Superman, Spider-Man, yes. Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, Deadpool. I wish it was a full
like
deal.
The whole issue was this?
Yeah. And even that, they're like, oh my God, the crisis. You have the whole sky. All that happening if it was this. You know what I mean? Then we see Cap and Stargirl going out. You see Hal banging Jennifer. Oh, man, it'd be awesome. But yeah, and even that, you have like a couple little call outs and things. I thought it was cool.
My gripe with this, only small little gripe would be when they were calling out, like, you should have seen what the X-Force did in Gotham.
Yeah.
But then they don't show the X-Force.
Yeah, again, that's why we need a big crossover.
But they show Cloak and Dagger. Why? Well, I want to see X-Force.
Cloak and Dagger.
Or the Power Pack, Titan's Tower. It's not Power
Pack. Yeah. And then you're fighting these schmucks, too. I like when they end up like, listen, and Superman's the best. He's like, listen, we got to talk to the Hulk. Listen, hey, Thing, we're all together. Yeah, the villains, they're villains. But aren't they very similar to us as well? Excuse me, I got to go punch this Wolfman.
Oh, that's great. Isn't that John Jameson?
Yeah, it's
Man Wolf?
It's so great. It's so great because he's there. Okay, everybody, let's calm down. We're all there. And then he just whacks him right in the head. I'm like, oh, that didn't last. And then you look and you have
there's Bizarro back there.
Bizarro's getting clobbered by the thing. See, that's cool. And there are some things in the background. Again, now that we're talking about it, I think this is my favorite story, and people didn't like it.
Oh, I saw so many like people
not like it.
I like it a lot.
And so when they get it done, I also like Superman is manhandling Mysterio. He's just holding him by that hood. And he's like, okay, it's going to end. So Dr. Strange says it's on us. Say the Lantern's influence is gone. So you have all that going down because there's a Red Lantern stuff. All this, it was cool. And then he says, Mysterio didn't just need a monster. He wanted us convinced we hated each other. And then thinks says, why? And he's like, because if we don't, the fight feels pointless. And he's like, pointless? You really think we're all on the same side? Because he's saying the villains, too. I guess he hates Wolfmen. But he says, yeah, like, these guys, they're very much like us. Like, he says, I refuse to blindly call anyone an enemy. You have to give people a chance. And again, Ben, he's a good guy, but he gets miserable at points, right? And he also, his thing is, it's clobbering time. He says that, like, that's all he does. He doesn't think it's like, okay, it's clobbering time. And Superman's just like, man, that's what they want. It's kind of a weird kind of thing. But he says, anger's easy, listening's hard. Face-to-face still matters. It almost feels like they're also talking about FaceTime. And you're on the X and you're on the Reddit and everybody hates each other. It's okay.
I think it's a subtle reference to society now.
Yeah. I think it's the idea of everybody's separated.
Yeah.
Everybody's against each other.
Everybody's divided.
Everybody's divided in a way that the only way that you can say you're good is because those people
black
suck.
or white. Yeah. Superman operates in the gray.
Yeah. And I liked it. And like you said, it doesn't feel... Again, maybe
it's not
people
preachy.
don't like it. I don't think it's preachy at all. It feels like Superman.
No.
And it feels like the deal, and we've talked about it before, what I think it's really cool if you think about it. If 10 people die, Mary Jane just killed a guy, right? Punisher kills an old lady, all that. Nobody really gets killed much in the DC universe. They don't really love to have characters just straight up kill people. The Marvel universe is a bit darker that way. And then Superman comes in and he's like, hey, you guys, like, settle down a bit. You don't have to be. And I thought it fit. And it's almost like Superman coming in to the Marvel universe here made it a little nicer. And he's making Ben think about things, even though Ben is just the thing and it's clobbering time. He does have, but remember, there was a thing. I'm not a big fan of the Immortal Hulk, but there was an issue where the Thing and the Hulk were kind of sitting at a diner talking, and it was one of the better issues, I thought.
Oh, yeah.
Because they kind of were just like, hey, we're kind of alike, and it kind of, touched on that. And then Ben's like, hey, he goes, again, the cell. I guess it is. It certainly seems like it, right?
Also, look at that little box of donuts, too.
I know, well, that's
so
the
small.
other thing I was going to say. First off,
it's big as smaller than his finger.
If you're going to come in and bring donuts, because he's like, hey, you want to talk, have a donut, whatever. Don't bring me a fucking strawberry glazed with
Simpsons
sprinkles.
donut.
That's the worst.
And it looks like one of those wheat donuts, too, like a different color.
Yeah, actually, it looks like just a cake donut.
God.
It's the worst. Bring me like a Boston cream, something like that, or whatever they call it, Angel's cream, something.
What about a regular jelly filled?
No, that's okay. It all depends. I don't like the places like a Dunkin' Donuts. Their jelly filled is like almost like toothpaste consistency. I like when you get one that's jelly and it actually is like jelly. It like has clumps in.
Is Logan still at that donut place?
No, he works with our oldest son, Alex, at a place he got out. No, actually, the other day, because that place has like 80 million donuts and they have a Dutch crumb donut. It's the best donut I've ever had in my entire life. It is so good, and almost everybody agrees. Logan, when I went to watch the draft for the 5 minutes he was awake, he ended up like, I think it was the one guy, Cody, that was there, was like, hey, do you ever go to Dunkin' Donuts, or do you ever go back to Yum Yum to get donuts? And the thing is, he's like me. He'll never go back.
No, he's done with it.
Right?
It's dead to him.
So what he does is, occasionally he'll order them on DoorDash. But I think when you order them on DoorDash, that place, you can't order specific donuts. So you end up like, I'll have half a dozen donuts, and it's up to them.
You're at the mercy of their selection.
You're at the mercy of them. And he said he's done it a bunch of times, and not once did he get the Dutch crumb.
Definitely not.
And that's all he wants. Yeah. He wants a Dutch crumb. I told him, I said, you want to get a dozen of those things? Just let me know. I'll go pick them up. I'll go get them. I said, we'll split. I'll get it because I could eat 6 of those easily. And they are heavy, but they are so good. Not that bullshit Simpsons donut. Nobody wants that shit. I'm telling you, Homer doesn't even want it. But but it was cool. And he says, I think it's long overdue. So it's good. Superman came in. He taught some lessons and he left. He said, I'm out. And I thought that was pretty good. And then we move on. And again, at this point, there's a Bendis story. But the rest of them are kind of like, even by the end. I know some people seem to like the Jason Aaron story, but I don't know. You get the next one. It's called Ghosting. Louise Simonson with Todd Nauck. Drawing, I usually Todd Nauck I think is a little better than this. It's very busy, but it's very quick. It's that Hobgoblin gets this material that when you do it, you can kind of dissipate. He gets it from Steel. Steel's trying to attack him. He's getting hit by the goblin bombs, the pumpkin bombs. And then all of a sudden a hammer comes in and just levels him. You can tell right away it's Mjolnir. Yeah. When I first read it, I thought that Steel actually grabbed Mjolnir. I'm like, that's pretty crazy. Like he's worthy.
I think he's worthy. Yeah,
I think it would be. But he ends up where he even grabs the glider then and kind of trying to go. It's very quick. And then at the end, it's just so Thor can be like, hey, I threw the like Thor did all the work. And then comes in. They clink the hammers. I
would have liked to see the Predator here and handshake here.
Yeah, that would have been cool. They are big, right?
And I also would have liked to seen Hobgoblin with a couple of those energy drinks, those mushroom drinks.
Yeah, that would be great. Those mushroom energy nonsense at the end. That big, so stupid. That just disappeared. Everything did, though, with the death spiral. Then we go to the next story. Stephanie Phillips with Phil Noto on art. And
Noto, there's a picture of Livewire's ass. I'm like, I don't. Could you have done a better job drawing that, dude? I don't know what's going on here, but
yeah. Look at, I'm not a big fan of Phil Noto's art. I'm
not either. It's too static.
I think it's too static. It looks like color forms all the time, if you know what those are. And the backgrounds,
he's a good cover artist. He's a great
the backgrounds artist. Are just not great. He also loves to have the red-nosed chappie. Look, where it's like Supergirl is just freaking
well, we know
down
she's
like
a drunk now.
Yeah,
right?
She just down like 8 things of Jack Daniels when she showed up. But the whole thing is to set up a joke. You have already.
Oh yeah, she's holding an autograph book now. I noticed that.
Yeah, she's there.
She went to get Superman's autograph. Is that what this is?
She heard it's the idea that all of a sudden people heard Superman's in town, so she went and got her autograph book. She's like, "Oh man, he's going to be here, the last son of Krypton," and then Supergirl shows up. And it's like, man, you're not Spider-Man, but why did she show up? But you're like, oh, man, you sound disappointed. I am. This is bullshit. Again, 2 bitches yelling at each other. They're yelling. Livewire's nothing but a prop. She walks in and is like, hey, you jerks. I'm going to give you a shocking surprise.
She's yelling for Superman, which she's not a Superman villain.
No, if Superman comes out, she is dead.
Yeah.
He won't kill her, but still.
Just going to grab her and throw her somewhere. Yeah.
And she's like, hey, you jerks, I'm here. Shock this and that.
Yeah, Electro. That would have been cool. Electro.
And then that'd be funny. She's there for a date. See, that'd be cool, like a Tinder type thing. And it's Livewire, and but she doesn't like, she doesn't like them because they're too alike. That'd be funny.
Or they meet on Tinder and they go to back to one of their rooms or whatever, and they're banging, and the building blows up.
The building blows up, and that's it.
It just happens in the background.
Yeah, it just happens. So she's going, and again.
And the Jamie Foxx version of Electro too, not the
Gwen and Supergirl team up to stop her. Again, Supergirl can stop her in a second anyway, but they're like, "Hey, you're a show.
It's a Supergirl villain.
Unremarkable." Again, all this is for this last page, this last panel,
and I didn't even get it until the end here.
Yeah, because she's like, "Hey, she left, and by the way, you dropped this." Erica throws the thing, and she wrote to one of the 5 million spider-powered heroes. Love Supergirl.
You could say the same thing about Super Family.
Well,
come on.
I actually talked. I said to a guy, he started trying to argue with me because I said the same thing, and he's like, "No, that's not true because Supergirl's not Superman." I said, "Yeah, well, she's not Spider-Man either. Like that's the whole thing. Like the idea of one, the last son of Krypton. There's 8 million of them, but again, it's just the joke is there's a lot of." The funniest thing is Stephanie Phillips is writing her, but yet saying, "Oh, it's for the joke. It's whatever." You know what I mean? You can get a chuckle from it. The next one's Brian Michael Bendis and Sarah Pichelli. I'm surprised this wasn't delayed.
Well, they're the original Miles team.
Yep. So it's Miles, and he's going, and Superman shows up and realizes, "Oh, you're a different." And again, I'll give Bendis credit here. First off, I won't give him credit for the stepladder fucking dialogue that he does in his back, but I give him credit because you don't have, he could have had Superman say, "You're the real suit," and just get people mad. man, you're better than Peter. You're the best. You're the real Spider-Man. No, he just comes. He's like, I don't really know what's going on with you, but you help me. And the whole play is like, it is Brainiac and Dormammu joined together, but you never get to it. And while they're like slow riding to them, and while that's happening, there's a lot of dialogue. You could have that song going. And Superman says at one point, I kind of can tell you're pretty good. This shit coming is bad, and you didn't run away. You helped me. That's pretty cool. Let's go and fight. Miles is dead. That's all at the end. Miles going against Brainiac and Dormammu. Yeah. He is dead. Superman better take care of all of it very quick, because a little bit of the crazy is turn invisible. It ain't going to help you. You do that shocked at nothing. You're dead. So there's that. But again, you could add Superman at one point say, oh man, you're the best, but you don't do that. And
there's some weird where he's asking for advice from Superman in the middle of the battle, which is a little
odd.
I'm
saying. The thing is, though, the weird thing is the battle never starts until the end. So Dormammu and Brainiac look like they're attacking, and they're just standing there talking as if we got some time. They're still slow riding. That's what I said. Yeah. They're like, it's a slow ride to the bed. And yet they're like, hey, what do you think? And they're at one point, you look at them and they're just talking. The city is on fire behind them. And they're like, I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. And then who's this guy at the end? Because that don't look like no Superman I see. It looks like it actually looks like some of those guys that had like plastic surgery and it went terribly wrong. And then he's there. I'm like, there's plastic surgeryed up Superman. He looks terrible.
He got fillers and Botox.
He's like the Creasleys or whatever those people are. Went to jail.
That guy got pardoned.
Yeah, I know he's out
for whatever reason. But it's weird how he's asking for advice, saying, "When you were my age, like I don't know, bitch, I don't know how old you are. You look like you're 25
and
to me.
Look
I don't know."
When he's there, and when he says, "When I was around," like the proportions are really off. Like his chest is big, but it's bigger on the left side, and his arms are huge. But look at his legs.
Have you noticed that he's not wearing the trunks, which is kind of an inside joke? Because remember, Bendis brought the trunks back.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. It would have been funny if Rob Liefeld was drawing it, and he had the boobs. That'd be awesome.
He looks dumb. He looks stupid without the red underwear, though.
Yeah,
he
looks
dumb.
That. And look at his package is weird too.
And then another thing too. Originally, they asked him to. They were like, "We want you to do Miles and John Kent."
Oh,
and he's like, "No, nobody wants me writing John Kent anymore. I'm doing classic Superman."
That'd be funny. He's like, just making fun of people getting upset about being de-aged and aged up and all that. But Slott could have done something though. It would have been pretty cool.
I think.
But at the end, you realize that Superman had way too much plastic surgery. And then we go to
he's doing blue steel.
Yeah, he is. He is at that point. Look at him. Though when you look at it, it does look like he also might be wearing somebody else's face. Like it doesn't look like it's his skin.
Yeah.
Even where his eyes are, it looks like he's looking through, and it looks like the bottom half, like his jaw, like it's not his. It's weird. He also got too much lip implants. He's got some issues. That'd be funny. Is at the very end, he's like, don't get plastic surgery. And then he just
That's his advice.
Yeah, that's just his advice. And he goes, I like you wouldn't believe. When he
oh, my God.
At the end. Then we get Jason Aaron, Russell Dodderman on a Jane Foster Thor with Wonder Woman. All right.
War of the
Realms. Like, really?
Yeah.
There's a shout out.
Dark Side in there.
Yeah. You have the big, a big event.
Venom.
And the idea is Wonder Woman going to grab Mjolnir? But if she does, no more Jane. Jane's dead. So it's very quick. It's okay. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, it's so nothing, but it is a little wordy to pretty much do nothing, but it's okay. You have the idea. Batman refused to guess. All this stupid stuff. You see some of the Amazons, pretty cool. And gives Jane some props.
Yeah.
He gets to right.
Darkseid has like Null's sword, maybe. Is that what that is?
Who cares?
It's funny. I thought it was pretty funny. The last couple boxes, dialogue boxes, led by an immortal Amazon with a magic lasso and the godly power of Earth itself. and a 90-pound cancer patient swinging a
hammer.
A 90-pound.
Yep.
Why throw that in there? That kind of made it weird. I don't know.
And a dying cancer patient who has no hope.
You didn't need to say that. Come on, dude.
It's a cool page at the end. Again, when you see the end
Superman's
page,
jacked.
It's really. It shows you, like, man, I wish we had a crossover. I wish it was more of an event crossover.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, look at him there with that sword. Wolverine, he's just doing things. You got John Stewart, just looking at all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Peter's like spread eagle, trying to show his junk. But yeah, and then you get Jeff Loeb and Jim Chung to end it.
Sack Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's like one of those days. All I keep thinking of is that stupid, what's it called, that band? There's that fucking band that Eric likes. I'll remember it by the end. But you end up with Superman just trying to cheer up the old sets. So it's like Peter, and his hand looks weird when he puts it on his shoulder. Also, he's got a weird face as well. When you see him there, where he's like, take care. And it kind of looks like it's trying to ape a little of the, maybe Frank Quietly a little.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jim Chung. It's fine, but it just, I don't know. It doesn't look great. But Jim Chung's going to be doing stuff with Jeff Loeb, right? Isn't he doing that
Wonder Woman Batman thing? Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the deal. But I don't know. If that story was nothing. There wasn't much of a page. There was like 2 pages. So overall, though, it was okay. I thought
it's better than all the other crap we're getting. So I mean,
yeah. So it's
for Marvel,
what would you
at least.
Give it?
I'd give it. Listen, I'm a big fan of these things. I hope they keep doing them and pushing the envelope a little bit. I'd give it an 8. I think.
Yeah, I'd give it a 7.5, and it was Limp Bizkit that I was thinking of. That one of those days, that's stupid break stuff or whatever. I can't remember.
Didn't the bass player tattoo his whole body or something? That guy.
I don't know. I know that he at one point he was climbing on shit and causing trouble. I don't know.
And Fred Durst looks like he ate 3 Fred Dursts now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it looks like he should star in the next Vacation movie. That's what he looks like to me. But that guitarist, he scares the shit out of me with those eyes.
Yeah, those dark eyes.
Freaks me out.
Yeah.
He could be like that. He looks like the Monkey King at some points when he's doing that shit. But I don't know. He seems like he might be the decent guy. But yeah, I think Fred Durst, he's mad now. I saw recently he's mad because they weren't invited to Coachella. That's what he wanted to be involved with. Maybe Sabrina Carpenter could have brought Limp Bizkit out instead of Madonna. I don't know if you know this, but Sabrina Carpenter's from my hometown.
Oh, I know.
Every week I say it on the dance party.
Yeah, you've been bringing that up a lot.
Comes out like 70 because that's the big joke on the dance party on Saturday nights is me saying that constantly. And people even know I'm like, I don't know if you know this, and they'll start typing it in. It's just a joke. So it carries over to other things. Yeah, I give it a 7.5. But if you like these things, like you said you do, it's worth it. I think it's worth it anyway, just to have because of what it is. Even that Batman Deadpool bullshit, I think that it's worth having in your collection if you collect things and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
I kind of hope, and I think it might have been Triple B on the DC. Somebody did say that.
Yeah, he was talking about that.
Their comic book the store owner ended up saying that he thinks, now I don't think he's gotten any word, but because there hasn't been anything else announced, he thinks that there might be a big crossover. And I kind of want it to be an event, not just DC versus Marvel, because that's always ridiculous because nobody wins. It's always like, oh, we shake hands and we don't want to fight. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Sometimes you'll have some winners, but it does. I'd rather have like Darkseid in this big event that's coming up gets together with, I don't know, the King in Black. I like the King in Black.
Not the Queen in Black.
Yeah, Queen in Black. Something big like that and have it go. And then Superman comes in like, can't we all get along? And they like kick him in the ass. Superman's gone right now. So that's what that got him. To help everybody, he just disappeared. But we'll see. But maybe again, he disappeared. He went to the Marvel. You could play some things. It'd be great if you had both companies going towards an event. And then suddenly, what would really be great is if we didn't even know that it was a crossover like that, and then it hit. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yes, just so little hints. It doesn't have to be overblown.
Things are already
something.
Spoiled, though. They'll never like. Can you imagine if we're like, okay, here's the DC event, the first issue, and you go in and all of a sudden Green Goblin's in it, and you'd be like, what the hell? It would be so cool.
Also,
remember, it was pointed out, or at least like hinted in that weird way in Doomsday Clock that they were going to have a crossover event at one point, but that's Jeff Johns doing nonsense.
I wouldn't mind seeing like a draft or something where you trade certain characters out to the other side for a little while and see how they do with them.
They used to do that in the wrestling.
Yeah.
They'd have the SmackDown Raw draft. Me and Rafe watched all the time.
Yeah, do something like that.
And anytime you'd have like a big guy, it wouldn't work out. They'd always do something weird so it didn't happen.
And share the profits. Like, I don't know, if it's a DC character, DC gets 70% and Marvel gets 30 or something.
Here's the thing. Like, if everybody was quiet and whatnot, it's what Mark Miller was saying they should do a while ago. And if you had Mark Miller being one of the big guys, have Scott Snyder, all these things, the Absolute's involved, everything's involved, Hickman's in there, like, it'd be incredible.
But I hate to say it, though, but the writing is on the wall for DC, especially with, I guess, that merger that just happened, takeover. Yeah. They're gonna start writing off a lot of crap, and DC might be one of them. So either sell it off or license it off.
You know how you get the event? Disney buys it. And now you have both companies, then you have it all the time.
And keep them separate. You can keep them separate, but then they can play together. It's fine.
Yeah. That would be the ticket to have it happen.
And then you can restart everything.
It does seem like if you go and you look at the ledgers and you start cutting the fat, here's the fat. The comics just don't make that much money anymore.
No, they drive the ideas, but now it's all about the IP.
Even then, it seems weird because you even got away from a lot of times where the movies were driven by the comic stories, but now it switched to be the comics are now going from the movies and trying to adapt and try to catch up.
The minute that happened, comics started sucking. And the movies started sucking, both of them.
Yeah. Yeah, people always have catchphrases and all that nonsense, but I just think that there's a lot of people out there that want to not tell stories. And I don't think it's anybody this, that, or the other thing. I think that a lot of kids growing up, hopefully with the kids growing up, and they'd be older now, but the people growing up with manga will get back to the story. It's just there's ebbs and flows. And I think this flow is the idea of nobody's telling stories. They just want to get somewhere else. They want to be looked at as a influencer or things like that. And it never pans out. But even the old guys, like what stories Joe Kelly telling? Like that guy's, but that's
one of the worst stories we've ever seen for Spider-Man, at least.
I said at the beginning, and people can argue with me all they want, that I said this stuff is it's just as bad as Zeb Wells stuff.
I think it's worse.
It might be now. Like you go into space and do nothing, and then you come back, and then you get involved in an event, and then this Hellgate.
We're yearning for Nick Spencer, and he sucks. So it's
I remember that
going nuts. Was terrible. Yeah,
and Nick Spencer was the first full run that I read. And
went well over 50 issues or 50 issues.
Yeah, it was like, I think it got in towards the 80s because then you did the Beyond stuff. The worst is, if you go back and look at the Beyond stuff, the Zeb Wells Beyond stuff, it's kind of the better stuff. And I was like, okay, this is cool. I
remember that. Yeah.
He had that X-Men book. What's it called that he did that was like the funny deal?
Oh, my God. Yeah, the one that Jason wanted to marry?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was fun. I'm like, this will be cool. No, it was not. When you first start out, I mean, I appreciated that he destroyed York, Pennsylvania. But after that, like, boy, we didn't, those were the days. But again, remember when we got near that issue 25 and everybody thought Mary Jane was going to die?
Yeah.
Everybody was reading. Everybody was fired up. Me and Gray, Wax Poetic, I think both of our reviews for that issue got like 4,000 views and things like that. That was big for us. And nobody cares now. Nobody cares. So I get a lot of things on X, Twitter, whatever, where it's like, these comics suck, but I haven't read one in 10 years. I'm like, that's what I get a lot now. Oh, well. But there it is, everybody. Again, usually we'd put this on the DC show, but we decided to put it on this so we can kind of come back. As we speak, we have the review copies are probably sent by now. Definitely are. I see the time. But I haven't downloaded them yet. So we'll see what we'll possibly get to this coming week because there's Annuals Week at DC. So we'll have a little bit of time that maybe we can jump into things. This week also, Infernal Hulk. I got to wait until we kind of get moving. At the end of that, Charlie shows up. That might be interesting, but I'm not really interested in that book, really. And there are weeks legit where me and Matt look at the lineup and we're like, there's nothing that we're either reading or we could talk about. What else came out? You had
Amazing Spider-Man, the end of the Death Spiral.
Yeah, the Death Spiral, and Mary Jane ends up killing a guy, and then Peter's like, it wasn't really you. She's like, yeah, I think it was. And then you get to see Flash in his wheelchair with the stumps. That made me giggle. And then you had that Spider University, Spider-Verse.
Didn't look at that.
What are these books? Like, you have 8. The joke that Stephanie Phillips had is the worst because there's all these Spider books. They only work if Amazing Spider-Man's hitting. And it's not.
Of course, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so Spider-Versity or whatever, that's not my alternative. Before everybody had Ultimate Spider-Man was their alternative, then that started meandering and it's over.
Well, I'm looking forward to Stan Slott's Spectacular Spider-Man. I think that'll be cool.
That'll
and
be
then Jonathan
something
Hickman has a Spider-Man thing coming out too.
Yeah.
So not absolute.
I think you have
whatever.
a Spider-Man book coming out.
Maybe, yeah.
I think Oprah was giving them out to everybody. Yeah, so we'll try to get back into some things. I'll see what's coming out and what we got, and we'll see if we'll be back for another episode. But I hope people enjoyed this. Lost my voice again. I don't know what's going on. One day that's just going to be announced. I died 10 years ago.
You're on the backyard yelling for the cat.
Yeah, I was, but I wasn't. Yeah, that's the best. Is Tanya's like, you can't yell because it'll scare him. So I'm going like, Jackie, but I'm still saying it loud. And then I was giving him like a, and she's like, he doesn't like that. I'm like, I think I know what he likes.
Know.
I said, I know.
Mother.
I'm like, Declan he likes me the most. So, and in fact, that's why Tanya, I was like, I got to do things. She's like, no, you have to come out. He'll only come to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of which, to everybody, our one cat, he bailed. It was a jailbreak. Like at one point, I said,
be a jail.
At one point, yeah, I said, hey, our cat got out. No. He broke out. he got out a window and jumped down 10 feet. Like this cat wanted out. But we were told all the time that a cat usually, they don't go very far. But it's been almost 2 weeks now, and we thought he was dead. We saw him today. He was in the backyard. he was just sitting on this hay bale that we have in the backyard. We go running. The problem was that when Tanya saw him, she was on in the attic. She saw him out the window, screamed out the window, then comes flying down. I'm just sitting there. I forget what I was doing. And she's like, you got to come out. And I'm like, I really can't. She's like, you have to deck. He's in the backyard and he'll only come to you. So we go run out. By that point, he probably was like, that bitch is yelling. I'm out. And
he's like, she's the reason I left.
Yeah. He's like, holy shit. She did it. She opened the window and it didn't have screens because of Zach redoing the house. He's getting new screens. They're just not in yet.
Yeah.
And so she was so upset. And I'm sitting there like, it's not your fault. Don't blame yourself. I wouldn't have thought the cat. Then she took that as an hour later, started blaming me. Said that I must have opened the door. I'm like, no, you did it. So, and you told me it wasn't my fault. I said, I told you that not to blame me. But we're going to go see. So we're done now. I'm going to go and get my crazy spotlight that I bought, handheld spotlight. We're going to go and see because we had the food in the front, which I realize now was a dumb idea because we have a busy street we live on. He probably would have never have gone out there. We were at one point, I had the duty of walking up and down the street to see if he got hit by a car. And if he would have, I would have never have said anything. I don't know what I would have done. Kind of kicked him in the sewer. I don't know, but I would have never have told her that he got hit. But we thought he was done, but he's here.
Yeah, he's good.
We
good
just
news.
can't find him because he seems to be like, he might be in our neighbor's. They have a shed that just has junk in it, but we don't really talk to them. And in fact, if I went over to say, hey, can I go through your shed? I think our cat got out and he might be in there. I think it would end in a fist fight somehow. Because I don't like this guy at all. And he does not like me. At one point, I had him by the neck and he punched me a couple times on the side of the head at one point because Tanya and his wife, both crazy, were fighting. So that was like 15 years ago. That was a long time ago. Haven't talked to him since. Not at all. So he saw me. I was out there near like his driveway calling for Decky and he pulled in and we kind of had a stare down. I don't know. He probably doesn't even remember. He has to remember. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. All hell was breaking loose. His wife actually accused Tanya of stealing money from their house. And like she snuck in. I'm like yelling, there's no way she could sneak anywhere. She's the worst. Like she's loud and knocks shit over. But man, it was weird. Turns out that I think it was a phone. It was she stole my phone and they tracked it. But it said like it looked like it was like their house and our house are so close. It was just a big circle with, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so you couldn't tell. And then I realized later, Tanya, I think, was right. She wanted to get a new phone and use the insurance. So she just made up a story because you have to report it. And it was
my God.
Yeah, it was nonsense. Zach ended up getting upset because the police came to our house then. And Zach was upstairs. He's like 9. And they called him down. He comes down and the guy's like, why are you nervous? Why are you nervous? And I got mad. I'm
9?
like, because he's 9 and you're a police officer yelling at him. I did the worst that you're never supposed to do. At one point I said, you want to search the house? You can search the house. I don't give a shit. We didn't do it. You're not supposed to do that.
No, they'll rip that place apart.
Yeah, didn't realize at that point our oldest son, Alex, had a lot of partners.
Mm-hmm.
So but no, they just left. They realized they kind of thought that. But yeah, it was crazy. They were yelling at Zach. He still talks about it. He's still mad at the guy. The guy still works. It's like this Officer Falloon. He's like, I hate that guy. The guy tries to be nice to me, and I hate him.
That wasn't the guy that was putting high scores in chokeholds the other day, was
No,
it?
that was just the police chief. He ended up...
That made national news.
Exonerated. Nothing happened to him.
Really?
Yep.
Oh,
and in
that
fact,
makes sense.
He's suing the kids now.
Yeah, okay.
Because
Good luck with that.
He said that his neck was broken or some fucked up shit. Yeah, it's shit. So he choked out a 14-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm. A girl, too.
While he wasn't even in uniform.
Nope.
He was just a plainclothes. He just ran into this thing and started choking.
He's like, a bunch of kids yelling. I got to stop this.
Yeah, it goes for a girl.
Yeah.
What a jerk. That's it. That is it. There we go. All the doings of Quakertown. I even sent to you. I said that the shit's going down in town. I'm like, it's bad.
It did. And then it popped up on my TikTok. I was like, oh, shit, here it is.
It became big news. And then nothing happened. Nothing at all. Just last week, I think it was, that he's like, nope. They did an investigation, did nothing wrong, choking out a 14-year-old girl.
I've been exonerated.
Yeah, so it's nonsense. But with that, thanks, everybody. We'll get going. Yeah, and hopefully we'll be back next week. I'll see what's coming out, and we'll try to get a couple more books and get more regular on the deal. In the meantime, the Weird Dose of X, that's done. So if you want to go and really what you need to do is...
I like it, though. I listen to it every week.
You listen to it every week, and we also have Learned Edition. It's a Learned Edition. I thought we had the deep dive. I don't see... Wait.
I like the killing.
Oh, that's not it. How about this one? No, that's not it.
The guy is drunk!
No, not it. There's so many out there. He puts so many sound effects and gets rid of all my stuff. All my stuff he does. So.
He's good with the sound effects, though. I'm not going to rag on him. He uses them a pretty good job with them.
Nah, I think he sets them up a little too much. That's my opinion.
He probably relies on them too much, but he knows how to use them.
Hey, this book has Hercules.
And Ruben laughs every time.
Hercules!
I'm doing my Jason. Oh, and then they start shooting at each other.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But that's his style. Then here's my other deal, because I see he's like, let me find the ding. Oh, no, I just deleted it. I can't do the ding sound, so I'll do this.
I like it, though. I listen to it every week.
The ding sound's gone again. It's gone again. But that is that. So that's a little shout out to he'll grab this and end up. And also I see that with his sound effects, he got rid of the Simon sound effect, which I would have just hit, that everybody would have loved. But
yeah, of course.
That is it. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining me, Matt. I hope that people go and check out the book. Let us know what you think. But we'll be back, and we'll see you whenever.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.